Alright, so I promised you guys a sign language video, but I didn't do the sign language video. Obviously, this is not sign language. I was busy. And I normally record my videos early on Tuesday, and I meant to yesterday because yesterday was my deaf day. But here's why I didn't, and I have a good reason. Okay, maybe it's not like a really good reason. Maybe it's more like a not good at all reason. Maybe it's more like I was motivated to not do my video and to not even be at home like pretty much all day because my boyfriend offered me good food. Mind you, it was just hash, but it was like delicious hash, so whatever, guys, okay? I had like delicious hash and I watched Dragon Ball Z and I was very happy. So, no sign language video. There's also, obviously if I was watching Dragon Ball Z, I really could have been watching on subtitles, but I wasn't. So, here's what happened to the deaf day. I had my earplugs, and the idea was for me to like wake up immediately and then put them in, which I did, and keep them in all day, which I did, all day through school until break, and because I had to take them out during break so that we could rehearse our play. I did not put them back in, and here's why. I should have, but I was supposed to. But I did not, because they hurt. I mean, like, they didn't hurt, like, all day, but after a while, like, you become more and more aware that there are freaking purple earplugs in your ear, and they're, like, all the way through your ear canal, and they hurt! Like, after a while, it just hurts, because they're... 1 second, I will show you that. That is what went into my ear! These things! Now, yeah, they're not that big, and they're not that bad, and, like, they obviously don't just go in your ear like this. You're supposed to, like, if you don't know how to use earplugs, you roll them up. It goes right in there, like all the way in pretty much, and then it gets back to its normal size, its normal state. And obviously it's not going to like turn like that because that's not the way your ear is shaped. It turns and you know, it basically grows into the contours of your ear and blocks out all sound and vibrations and stuff. And well, not all of it. Like, I could hear. I was more hard of hearing than I was actually deaf. But I mean, yo, it was still a pain in the ass, man. I couldn't hear anything. And it was really hard not to talk, by the way, like all day. And I don't think the experiment was all that great, like for school anyway, because all my friends knew that I was deaf that day. So, you know, they already knew to write to me if they didn't know sign language, or sign to me if they did know sign language, which if they did know sign language, they were probably in a sign language class and they were probably also deaf. The only people in sign language who did not have earplugs that day were Sign 1. And that's because they do not sign as fluently as the rest of us. Pretty much the only real coherent sentence they know how to form is, "How are you?" or "Nice to meet you." And since "How are you" only gets like a "fine," and "nice to meet you," most of them already met me. That's why they're talking to me. In fact, that's why they're signing to me, because they know that I've got earplugs in, because I told them, because they met me before. So "nice to meet you" does not apply in the situation. So they just had to write to me, or like decipher what I fingerspell. Oh, and my economics teacher, she's the one who gave me problems. Oh my god, I wanted to freaking shoot her. Because first of all, when I asked her to sign the note agreeing to allow me to wear earplugs in her class, she's like, "Okay, well, but I don't sign. So you're just going to have to write to me if you want to talk." Okay. You didn't have to say it like that, though. I mean, I understand that you do not know sign language, but you don't have to be like, "I don't sign." Like, God, I'm sorry. You're a bitch. And she was getting angry with me that day because I was signing to her because I didn't have a voice. I did not, like, I literally spoke like this. Unless I whispered. So I was already pretty much, you know, signing to everybody anyway. So I was in her class and I was sitting there and I was reading because I couldn't really do anything else. I couldn't take notes on things I didn't fucking hear her saying. And then she's looking at me and she goes, "Put the book away." And she yelled it so that I could hear it and I heard it. But she pissed me off because she looks at me and she goes, "Jessica, you need to take notes." I'm like, there's nothing visual up there for me. Like, yo, if there's actually a deaf person in the class and you want them to take notes, you should probably have something like visually like written up like on the board or on the projector. Like, she doesn't do that. She just does everything orally, and that's kind of a pain in the ass, because I couldn't hear her, and I couldn't understand her, and then I was finally like, what? And she's like, you have to read my lips. Read my lips. Okay, so first of all, problem with reading lips. It's very inaccurate. Even if you are good at reading lips, the fact is, only 20% of the English language can actually be read by like watching somebody's lips move, because there's more to it. There's, what your tongue is doing behind your lips, which is, kind of hard to see. Especially, and it depends on like the shape of somebody's face. Like, I think I would really suck as a person whose lips to read, because I have like huge teeth. So even if you were trying to look like and see where my tongue was, you probably can't, because it's behind my huge teeth. But whatever. I wanted to punch her in the face for that comment. I was like, read my bitch. But she did eventually put notes up on the projector screen. I did eventually take the notes, but I was very tired. Like, I had no energy. That was another thing about being deaf. Couldn't hear anything. And I find out that when you can't hear anything, things get really boring when you're used to hearing shit. I mean, like, I guess if I was actually deaf and I was used to not hearing things, then I guess it wouldn't bother me as much. But, like, now that there are no, like, distractions, things keeping me up, like, from not sleeping, I wanted to die. I almost passed out repeatedly. And I did pass out once. That was my deaf experience. It wasn't very good. I think I'll have to do like an independent deaf day. I think we should just take a vote as to whether I should do an independent deaf day or not, at like on a weekend or something, so I can like go out to public places and eat and junk, and like pretend to be actually deaf, and see if anybody like is good about it. Like, see how people react.